Bootstrap is a lightweight front-end framework for creating dynamic sites and applications, just for building out those things that you don't necessarily find in standard HTML through a combination of HTML and CSS and a tiny bit of JavaScript. This isn't a new concept at all. You've got guys like jQuery UI and Sencha that have been doing this for a while. Uh, what you have with Bootstrap is more of a focus on HTML and CSS, whereas those other libraries concentrate pretty heavily on JavaScript. And it's kind of a flip-flop, going back to the root, so to speak. The great thing about it is that there are a number of things that it provides right out of the box to give you a lot of functionality that you don't have in base HTML. And all you have to do is have some well-structured markup to make that stuff possible. Um, One of the other nice things about it is it's primarily a CSS framework. So in order to reskin that and get an entirely different look and feel, ultimately the only thing that you would need to do is provide changes to the CSS to make those changes possible. And because they utilize less to make those things possible, it's very easy to change a couple of variables, maybe add an additional function, and have things just completely change up across the board. What I'm going to start off showing you in showing you how easy it is to do this is I'm going to go about and I'm going to look at one of the more utilized components in navigation on some sites today, and that is tabs. You see here on the screen that there's a basic tab set that's provided. It's very simplistic, but it works very well. And I've actually generated a quick mock-up to show that locally. You know, here is the tab set. This is pure HTML and CSS. I didn't write a single line of JavaScript to make it possible, and yet there it is. It's very easy to do so. Um, Now, I can change a couple of variables and change that entire look and feel. And, you know, I looked at other libraries that are out there, jQuery UI, their tab set, very easily defined. You can see the contrast in the background and see those tab items very well. Sencha with EXTJS, very much the same thing. You've got that contrast, the tabs have backgrounds across the board. So when you look at the base Bootstrap stuff, it's not quite as identified, and that's okay. They made this very bare bones for a reason. They wanted to allow us, the developers, the ability to create that look and feel. So what we can do is change a couple of variables within our less, recompile that less, and then voila, we changed the entire interface so that it appears more like jQuery UI in this particular case. You know, we wanted that same contrast. We wanted to have that same type of functionality, and we can get that very simply by changing a couple of lines of code. So I'm going to get started. Read along, and if you have any questions, feel free to send me a comment right here at cutterscrossing.com.